Hi, this is Wayne. I live in Cave Creek, Arizona, and I thought I would do today a review of the coldsteel bushman. I've done a review about this before, but I figured I would video this one. A friend of mine gave me this blade, but I know that right now, today, on Amazon, they go for about 23 to 25 bucks. I'm not sure what they cost on eBay. But it's made out of one solid piece of steel, and they hammer and roll it here and do what they call a hammer weld, I'm sure, or they just do a gas weld, I'm not sure, but it feels like a hammer weld. So it's made under probably fairly primitive conditions, made in China, of course, so that tells you something. But at any rate, it's really a good knife anyway. It came with a decent factory edge, and it has a point that is narrow enough that you could do fine woodwork with. That's important, as I'll get to in a minute. The steel itself is really good. It's pretty thick, and it has a flat grind. It almost feels like a slight hollow grind to it. And it's got the roach belly here, which is really good for all kinds of different kinds of chores. Okay, it's made of really good high carbon steel. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but these will bend a little bit if you use them as a pry bar, probably if you're going to jack up your car, but they will hammer back out. They're really made for abusive use and to come back for more. Like a lot of really cheap cold steel products, they're made to last forever and take a lot of abuse. So anyway, this one has a hollow handle in it, as you can see. It does have one hole here, so I suppose you could put a stick in there and drive a nail in there. I personally would probably put two holes in there, and if anything, put one further back so you could use some kind of leather lashing to hold it on there if you don't have a nail out in the field, which most people don't carry a hammer and nails with. I have not really used this in the field yet. A friend of mine has, and he swears by it. I suppose if I were to only have this blade to go out into the field with, I really wouldn't have a problem with it. It promises to take quite a bit of abuse and come back for more. It has a really nice, some kind of epoxy coating on it that will protect it fairly well, I would imagine. Not like some cheap paint that's put on it. So they actually put a lot of thought into it. They also make another one. It has kind of a humped up thing. I'm not sure what they call it, the Bowie, I think, or something like that. I would avoid that only because it's just more weight. It's not going to really add much to the strength of the knife. And I suppose you could pack stuff in the hollow handle too. And being a nice round, smooth handle like that, you won't get fatigue with your hand using it a lot. And it promises to be a very forgiving knife. I would personally probably make a Kydex sheath for this if I were to use it extensively. I probably will in the future because, frankly, the sheath it comes with is functional, but like a lot of cheap knives, I suppose, it's functional, but it's kind of crappy. I mean, for a cheap sheath, it's not bad. I've had a lot worse, but I mean, it does the job. So if you were to use it as a protector for the edge and throw it in your backpack, I think that would be fine. I don't know if I'd really feel comfortable hanging this off my belt loop. But at any rate, I would highly recommend one because they're inexpensive, and you could own a couple of them, put them in different places, like one in the car, or one in your bug-out bag, that kind of thing. And I'll also show you how well it'll sharpen up. The factory edge is actually quite good. As you can see, you could do this all day long. This is cardboard, I realize. It's not really thin paper, but I'm sure it would do just as well with just ordinary writing paper. That's really a true test. It's not a straight-on cut. Any knife could do that. But if they're really shallow like that, let's see, it just tore there. So that tells you it's not as sharp as it could be, but that's not bad at all. And that's just the factory edge. I could clean that up and get that to a point where I could probably shave with it. So anyway, the coldsteel bushman, and have a good day.